Greetings and welcome to Yarnspirations. I'm Mary Beth Temple for Hooked for Life, and in this video we're going to take a look at all you need to know to make the poinsettia napkin rings. Now, to make the napkin ring, you're going to need Caron Simply Soft Party in Snow Sparkle. I love the little sparkles in this, and they have some color to them, so they flash very nicely. You're going to need 1 skein of Dark Sage Simply Soft. Note that you can get 2 poinsettias out of each skein, so if you're going to want to make more napkin rings, you're going to need more of the party. You will need size 8 or 5mm knitting needles, or size needed to obtain gauge. You're going to need 1 jingle bell per poinsettia to finish off the center. And of course, you're going to need the napkin rings. You can pick up some inexpensive ones at the craft store or any other kind of store and use them as is, or zhuzh them up with some paint or some other kind of decoration. And then you're going to work on these sections that make little individual petals with lots of lacy stitching in the middle. But these are very quick and easy to make. So let's get started on our first section. So there is a 20-row repeat that we are going to repeat over and over, and each 20-row repeat, or 19 in the case of the last repeat, makes one of these pointed little guys here. So not too much confusing going on here. Let's take a look very quickly at the kind of knitting that we're going to do. So we have cast on 5 stitches, and the first row, which I have already done, is knit, and every odd numbered row is also going to be a knit row. So the second row is slip 1, and we know from the abbreviations section right here that is slip 1 knitwise. So we're going to slip 1 knitwise, yarn over. So I'm bringing the yarn between the 2 needles from back to front, and then bringing the yarn over the right hand needle to the back, because my next stitch is a knit stitch. We're going to knit 2 together, so we're going to knit just these 2 stitches as if they're one. Another yarn over, so between the needles back to front, over the right hand needle front to back, knit 2, and now I have 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, okay. So the third row, as all the odd numbered rows are, is just a knit row. So for the fourth row is slip 1, and we know that that is knitwise. Yarn over, knit 2 together twice. So back to front between the needles, over the right hand needles, knit 2 together. One more time, back to front through the needles, over the right hand needle. And then we're going to yarn over, and there's 1 stitch left at the end. That's going to be a knit 1. Now we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to keep repeating that, slipping the first stitch and yarn over knit 2 together as many times as the pattern specifies. And we're going to do that until we are at the widest part, which will be 14 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead, we're on the 6th row here, slip 1, yarn over, knit 2 together twice, yarn over, knit 2 together, that's my second time. Yarn over, knit 2, now I have 8. So I'm going to keep working on the increase side of this, And then I will come back and we'll take a look at it at its widest point. Okay, I've completed 19 rows and I have 14 stitches. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And I'm moving on to the 20th row. It says cast off 10 stitches. So what I like to do is the one where you knit a stitch, then knit the next stitch, and then pass the first one over to the second one, because I think it makes a nice edging. There are other bind offs that you can use, but this is the one that I like, so it's the one I'm going to use. So there's my this is my second bind off. Knit the next stitch on the left hand needle, pull the first one over the second one. You want to do this relatively loosely, you don't want to pull it in too tightly. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1. And that will leave me 5 stitches on the needle. So here's my petal. Here's my cast on edges way over here, and then we increased, and then we did a bind off. So now I've got 5 stitches. So let's go back to the pattern. So now you're going to repeat these 20 rows 3 times more, and then 1st to 19th rows once. So we're going back to row 1, which is knit. And we cast on 5, we have 5. So we're going back to the very beginning. So as you're going along, this is the first one that we made. So now you're going to repeat 3 more times, 1, 2, 3, and then 1st through 19th row. So that's going to be this piece right here, and then you're going to end off. Now, once you have that done, you're going to sew the short sides together. So there's my seam. And then you're going to thread a length of yarn through the eyelets at the inner edge of each ring to gather the ring closed. So what's going to happen is these eyelets in here. These ones that are at the very center, let me get my fingers behind them. White on white is not easy. So these are the eyelets that are closest to the center because the points are going to be on the outer edge, right? So you're going to gather these up. So you'll have your layer with 5 petals. So you're going to make 2 layers in the snow sparkle, and you're going to make 1 layer in the dark sage. You will stack them on top of each other. Remember, they're all sort of pulled up in here. You're going to attach your jingle bell there to cover up all of that gathering. And then you will attach the assembled flower to the napkin ring. You can use hot glue, although I generally do not like hot glue near hot food. You can use any kind of permanent cement that works on fabric. And then once you have them glued on, you are all set. Now remember, you can get 2 complete napkin rings out of 1 ball of the snow sparkle. So if you want to make 4 or 6 or 8 or 12, you're going to adjust accordingly. So that's all you need to know for the Poinsettia napkin ring. Thank you so much for joining us here on Yarnspirations. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for fresh content weekly on knitting, crocheting, and other yarny crafts. I'm Mary Beth Temple from Hooked for Life. Have a great day. Bye.